Hello guys and welcome back to the video. This is just part 2 to the book review Master Your Emotions. So I've got the clips that are just going to roll over from the last video. So here they are. I thought this part would be a good part to talk about as well because I've seen this quite a lot. Parent-child relationships. Some parents' egos lead to the creation of a strong sense of attachment and identification with their child. This attachment is based on the false belief their children are their possessions. As a result, they try to control their children's lives and use them to live the life they wanted to live when they were younger. This is called living vicariously through your child. Vicariously? Oh, I don't know how you say that. You see this all the time. Next time you watch a junior soccer or baseball game, watch the parents on the touchline to see how some react. Try spotting the parent living vicariously. They are the ones screaming the loudest and not merely in encouragement. This may happen mostly unconsciously. So this is another part that goes even deeper. Like with parents that want their kids to go to university, for example, when they didn't, usually they're just living their dream through their child. So like it says in the whole sport thing, there's people that like didn't get big and wanted to, let's say football or soccer, they like just didn't get to become a professional. So when they get the kid, they're pushing them through training all the time, and sometimes the kid don't actually like it, but they're just good at it, but the parents push them as well, and they're just, I guess, stuck in the whole thing that their parents really just want them to do, and it's not fully what they want to do. But anyway, back to the uni thing, and yeah, I think parents push their kids into uni just because they like didn't go and wanted to go, and I've seen this in real time as well. So this part, the first thing to understand is that emotions come and go. One moment you feel happy, the next you feel sad. And it also says in this that when you feel sad, for example, you feel like it's never going to go, and you've just got to think like that it's just temporary. And it also goes deeper further on about why you actually feel sad, and usually it's not really nothing that big. It's more just your emotions taking control of you. It also says that your emotions are not you, they're completely separate, and people don't get that. They associate, like, when they're feeling sad, they say, I'm sad, when it's not you that's sad, it's just your emotion, it's just how you're feeling. And that also gets people in a bit of a trap where they talk themselves down and like, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm sad, the world's over and all this, when again, it's really not. It's not the end of the world, just think more. And there's this part I wanted to talk about as well. I'm going to say my own part on this as well, that I heard this, I can't remember who said it, but it's made me think a lot, that like, I guess I could say, talk about crying. Like, you cry about something, and crying just doesn't like make a difference to the situation, don't make it any better, or well, it just makes it worse, really. So you start crying about something and it just doesn't solve anything. And then there's this little bit highlighted here that I want to talk about. Negative emotions can actually be helpful. Sometimes you need to touch rock bottom before you can reach the top. Even the toughest people on earth became depressed. Elon Musk never imagined he would have a mental breakdown, but he did, and he bounced back after losing his fiancée. Abraham Lincoln also was depressed for months. This tragic event didn't prevent him from becoming President of the United States. Negative emotions often serve a purpose. They may serve as a wake-up call. They may help you learn something positive about yourself. Of course, when you're under their spell, it may be difficult to look at the bright side of things, but in hindsight, you may realise emotions, even sad ones, had their role to play in your ultimate success. So, there's some people that like Andrew Tate, some people that don't. There's not many people that don't know him, but he said a very he said a few good points about being sad and depression, and some people agree, some people don't. I don't agree with 100% of everything he says, but there's no one really that you can agree with 100% of what they say, even if you like him a lot. But anyway, he said that no matter how he feels, he'll live every day the same. He'll still go to the gym. He'll still get his work done. And that's a very, very good thing to be able to do, because, like I said, your emotions are not you. They're just your temporary feelings. So you just get on with it and keep doing your same daily things. And then he also said a bit on depression, and what was it that he said? Oh yeah, that like if you're like depressed, and he's probably trying to tell you something, that you live a depressing life. And I guess I partly agree with that, because there's some situations people can't really solve, I guess. But if you're just sat there like playing video games and eating bad food, you're gonna feel shocking. Whereas if you exercise and live your life, you're gonna actually feel better. But no one thinks that while in the situation. They keep making excuses, and they usually don't want to help themselves, because I've seen that as well. But yeah, like it says, what I read, that it may serve as a wake-up call, and that's just completely true. Alright, there's a part here I also want to talk about. It says, when you're in a positive state, you have more energy available. This energy gives you more confidence in everything you do, an openness to consider new actions. Well, I'll just read that part, I guess, and read this part as well. And you can pause it there, and then I'll just keep talking. So there's a thing I heard quite a while ago about when you're like writing, I've never done it, but you write an angry email, let's say, while you're in your state of mind that you're angry, and they say, I think it was Jordan Peterson, it might have been, he said, leave the email there and look at it in the morning after you've refreshed your mind and everything, and you'll change a lot, I imagine, in the email. And this is just true about how your emotional state can change your thinking. And I've heard another saying that was something like, women act on emotion. I think this was Jordan Peterson as well, whereas men act on fact. So when women have a certain problem, or if they're very angry at a certain time, then they'll usually like flip and get angry, and then later on they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that, and think later, when their emotions have all gone, that she shouldn't have done that, but they were just acting in their emotional state. And then this doesn't then help men as well, because women will say they're sad and try and give them like a factual way to actually like solve their situation, but they don't want a factual way to solve the situation. They just want to like you to just listen to them, I guess. Just a quick bit I'd like to say as well, that so at the minute I'm not getting that many views, obviously, and obviously not that many returning viewers, so I don't get any feedback. But if anyone is gonna, then can you like comment if you want to just read it and I just talk about the parts of it, or like pause and read bits, or if you want me to just read through it and explain or give my verdict on it. But anyway, one of America's most distinguished psychiatrists, Dr. A.A. Brill, goes even further. He declares 100% of the fatigue of a sedentary worker is in good health is due to psychological factors, by which we mean emotional factors. It says after reading this book, you'll notice people around you dwell on the past they cannot alter. People do that a lot. People worrying about a future they cannot predict. Problems are in our mind, and this is the part. Too many of us are addicted to our problems. Instead of letting go, we complain, we play the victim, we blame other people, or we discuss our issues without doing anything to solve them. So I've seen this, that people keep saying what the problem is, and again, I give them a solution, or they'll have a solution, or they'll know what to do, but they just don't try and help themselves. They just don't want to solve it. I don't get it, but at the same time, when I've like felt ill, for example, I'll know certain ways to help myself, and I don't know why. I guess I just want to let my body fight it myself. But and a lot of old people have that as well. They never want, like, they have bad hearing, and their solution's a hearing aid, but they never seem to go to a hearing place to go get a hearing aid. Anyway, why problems don't exist, what you don't focus on doesn't exist, and a problem needs to be labelled as a problem before like actually existing. So again, I'm talking about Andrew Tate again. I sound like I'm obsessed, but he actually like goes over a lot of good points. He said something about, he was talking about a ghost, and he was like, if I don't believe in like ghosts, then you can't be scared of them, because he'll just hear like a door creak or whatever, and he'll just think, oh, it's the wind. And it's very true. If you don't believe in something, you can't, well, it just doesn't exist if you don't focus on it. And that's my point, really. Right, we're on some biology points now, really. So this little highlighted point: sleep deprivation also increases mortality risk. A 2016 study conducted by researchers at a non-profit organisation, RAND Europe, estimated that people sleeping less than 6 hours a night had a 13% increased mortality risk than people sleeping between 7 and 9 hours. The same studies revealed that lack of sleep costs an estimated $411 billion per year to the United States economy. Interestingly, sleep deprivation also seems to reduce an individual's ability to enjoy positive experience. One study shows that while people who had enough sleep did experience a positive effect. So on this, again, with it all, everything seems to link into each other. Like, if people are, I don't know, we just keep talking about the whole depression thing, they don't eat well, they don't go outside and exercise, not all of them, and all this links in, which then makes you not sleep well, which then, what it says here, you then get sleep deprivation, which then reduces your ability to enjoy positive experiences. That's the end of that part. There's going to be quite a few more parts, because I've got the other half of the book that I've now read that I'll record, and then that'll probably need to be split into however many, depending on how many things I talk about. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe, put the notifications on if you want to like keep up with all these parts, and see you in the next one.